Hello everyone. Just yesterday the UPSC Prelims exam 2023 got over, and I completely understand and empathize with all of you. Most of you would have looked at different answer keys of different coaching institutions. Some of you are even would be scared to even look at your paper. That is how difficult the paper was. I completely understand that. Last year we did the video on the same day, and in fact we got the prediction also very right. In 2021 it was 87.5, and in 2022 we said that this cutoff would slightly increase compared to the last year, and it did happen, and it was a slight increase by 0.7 marks, and it was at 88.2. Before going to the cutoff, all that, this video is made to all students who have gone through the paper, who have appeared for the paper, or even students who would be appearing in the next year. So here I'll be dividing this into three parts. The first part I'll be discussing about what was the composition of the paper, how many questions came from different areas, and what was the pattern, what was the trend, which is very important, especially if you're giving the exam next year, or even to make you understand what has been following at least in the last 2-3 years. And finally on the cutoff that all of you would be expecting, and I'll end it up with what should be the approach for all of you or different categories of students here. So firstly, coming to the UPSC Prelims 2023, I'll be giving you a very brief outline of the paper, the trend of the paper. Coming to the composition of the paper, it was evenly distributed, like around ranging from 12 to 16 questions of all the core subjects put together: polity, geography, history, economics, the major core subjects. So the core subjects constituted around 50 to 60, nearly 60% of the paper, and the remaining 40% was distributed among the current affairs, the science and tech, and environment part. So this is how the composition was. And coming to the difficulty of the paper, when I read the question first, or when I checked with the students also, when they read the question, they felt that the question was easy, but when they came to the options, it was quite confusing. And in that pressure, that 2 hours, obviously it becomes very difficult for a student to decipher it and get the answer right. And here even since the options were such that, like the paired questions, like last year it was 8 questions came from 1 pair, 2 pair, such type, and this time what they've done is from 8 questions they've gone to 45 questions. So 45 questions, that is close to 50% of the paper was on pairs questions, and either you know or do not know. And this famous line, this line has been circulated across all UPSC channels, wherein it says elimination method got eliminated, and it did get eliminated. With such type of options given, it is quite difficult to arrive at the answer. And the second thing that made it more difficult was the 18 questions were of statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 type. Like statement 1 is correct, incorrect, statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1, or the vice versa. So this constituted 18% of the other questions, and obviously this made it even tougher. So around 45, close to 65 questions were of this nature, where the options were really confusing. Either you know or do not know, or if you know, you should know the complete concepts. So the overall emphasis was on conceptual and holistic learning. So that is what is one of the major takeaways of this year UPSC Prelims 2023 ka paper. And the second thing is, if you look at the trend, we can relate this to the a decade back trend, like wherein again even last year there were map based questions. Even this year quite a number of questions came from map based, and the sports or awards questions as well. So the trend is slightly started, it is picking up. We could see that in the last year UPSC 2022 ka prelims paper, and also in this year ka paper. Map based questions were on the higher side this time. And coming to current affairs, the third important factor, that is current affairs. In current affairs, international relations questions were of the maximum questions, and in fact around 14 to 15 questions were of IR in nature, like events and organizations per se. And I've been telling this, I've emphasized this many a times, that whenever you're reading geography or international relations, always keep an atlas with you. And that stands testimony to the kind of questions that have come here. And when mains, the internal security. So these 3 subjects, always study it with a map. It makes your understanding much better, and also you'll be able to know the important places, news, so you'll have a pictorial memory based on that. So, and in current affairs also, some of the questions were like straightforward questions also, but again the options made it difficult, I have to say this. So the green hydrogen or central bank digital currency on question on Ukraine, right? So these were the expected questions, and that came in the paper this time. The other takeaway, if you look at it, the map based questions were more focused on the African nations, and the climate based questions were more focused on the European nations. So that is something that you need to take a leaf out of it. And even when it if you look at the country as a whole, where it is heading, since especially in the last 5 years or even the last 10 years, the major focus is on international relations, and that has been picked up in this year's paper. So keep it high on how the country is moving, whether the focus is on social sector, employment, unemployment, or international relations, exports, imports. So that will also give you a clue on what the trend, most likely trend would be even in the next year paper. Then the other important takeaway is the previous year questions, which I have been emphasizing time and again and many times in almost all my videos, be it with respect to polity or 1833 Act, the constitution based questions, or chlorofluorocarbons, or even the ports questions, or the archaeologists based questions, even the capital market, right? These questions have repeated in this year. So that is another takeaway. So these are the major takeaways of this year prelims question paper. Apart from that, now coming to the most sought after question, that is what would be the cutoff. So in fact, last year we got the cutoff spot on from interacting. So this cutoff that I'm predicting right now is come through a lot of experiences, lot of hits, right, from my team members, the core team members, to the teachers, and interacting with a lot of students, and even considering the number of vacancies in UPSC this time, which is touched upon close to 1100, or even considering the difficulty level of CSAT paper, which I like to emphasize. CSAT paper, if you look at it, almost close to 50% of the CSAT paper was on quant, and the quant was really difficult this time, right? Close to to be precise, around 37 questions came from quant, and the passages were slightly easier side or of moderate level compared to the quant part. So considering all this, and again it has been an Achilles heel to many this year as well. Students have done well in GS1, but they have not done great in CSAT paper. So considering all this factors, so what I would predict this time is the cutoff will be around 83 to 85. So there'll be a drop of 3 to 5 marks in the overall compared to the last year cutoff. So this is what I would predict. Okay, now coming to the third part of the video, wherein I'll be focusing on what should be the approach. So basically, I'll be dividing this into 3 categories of students. One is students who are very confident of clearing the cutoff. Second category is who are in that range. I would say that majority of the students would be in that range of 75 to 85, wherein they are in that border range. And third category would be students who definitely know that they will not clear in either one of the paper. So coming to the first 2 category of students, I would suggest that please start off, take a couple of days break, and at least from June 1st start off with your mains preparation, and preferably your optional. So 80% of your time please give it to your optional, and remaining 20% of your time to essay or ethics. So you can distribute it like that till the prelims results are out. And if you look at the trend of last 2 years, the results have been out in 20 to 25 days. So I would be expecting that the result would be out around June 20th. So till this 20-25 days, no, please don't waste your time. Please start off, as I said, take a couple of days break and start off with your mains preparation. And even for those students, the second category of students who are in that border range, please don't waste time. I would say that 95% of the students would waste this 20-25 days, which plays a very important role. There are close to 110 days left for mains this time. Please, it's an humble request that please don't waste your time, because mains is one phase where you can completely control and maximize your score. Prelims and interview, you all know it is dicey, it's unpredictable, but mains is, to an extent, it is predictable, provided you have a right guidance. And we have one of the best programs that is called TLP Plus. We'll be coming up with it very shortly, and it is the most recommended program by all toppers. I think most of you watching this video also would be knowing that you can enroll for that program. And for the third category of students, what I would like to say is, I definitely know that a range of emotions would be running through and you are not able to take any calls, and this is not the time to take any call because your emotions will overpower your objectivity. So what you should be doing is take some time off, at least a week or 10 days. Go out, go with your family members, especially non-UPSC aspirants, right? That is required for you right now. Then come out fresh, sit down, analyze what went wrong during the preparation phase and on the day of the exam. That is very, very important. With that, you can come to me and come to any of the IASbaba mentors. We have a very strong team of mentors. We can sit down and we can chalk out what should be your strategy. And for that also, we have a very beautiful program called Gurukul program, Gurukul Advanced, especially for students of this stage, in this stage. So I'll not be getting into all that, but anytime, even if you're taking the program or not taking the program, please do come to me, come to the team of IASbaba, right? We'll help you out in chalking out the plan and what should be the best strategy in the way forward. And thank you.